The Mukuru Wallet is here. The freedom to store, send, buy and pay anytime, anywhere, all from your phone. No bank account? No problem. With the Mukuru Wallet, you can load and keep your money safe. Tired of queues? Send and receive money transfers from your phone. Forgot to buy airtime, electricity or pay DSTV? Do it instantly from your Mukuru Wallet. Sign up today. Mukuru.
And Mukuru has at its core the ideas of movement, value, and connection. The business was born 20 years ago from the simple need for people to send value to their families. This is very simple as a concept, but the ability to offer this as a formal, reliable service, turns out, is quite difficult. The impact this service has on communities, if done successfully, is remarkable. I began my journey with Mukuru in 2012, applying for licensing, building branches, engaging with the financial sector, and trying to better understand our customer base and their needs. I worked from our main branch in Harare for the first 5 years and witnessed firsthand how incredibly vital remittance services are. We serve urgent needs like school fees, medicine, clothing, food. There has been more than one woman in labor collecting a remittance to go to hospital. What my early experience with our customers made abundantly clear is the need for us to deliver on our promise to senders that their remittance would arrive quickly and securely. The team has been working successfully for the last 20 years to make sure this happens for every individual and is accessible to an ever-increasing number of individuals in all the countries we serve. Our offerings have expanded to include international aid, payroll, agricultural payments, but the principles we follow are the same. Our promise to deliver value quickly to a customer is the same. Triggered by the need to ensure we keep our promise, in 2016 our network grew rapidly, from 5 branches to just over 250 to date and counting. We continue today to push the boundaries of service delivery and increase convenience in urban and rural settings. Innovation and pushing the boundaries of what is possible in the financial sector cannot be done in isolation. We have had the privilege of working closely and successfully with an open, responsive, and understanding regulator. Honestly, in 2012, I didn't know what to expect, but our regulator has created an environment conducive to innovation and competition, so we could not be more fortunate. I'm genuinely very grateful for this. So our journey brings us to today, where we intend to extend our promise to customers beyond physical boundaries, have remittances accessible from anywhere and at any time. We intend to offer our services to an ever-diverse set of customers from different backgrounds, going on different journeys with high aspirations, but always maintaining ideas of connection and value. What's more, with our digital store of value, we'll be able to offer reliable services to anyone with Mukuru accounts via WhatsApp, USSD, and soon our app, providing an access channel to whoever, wherever they are. I'm incredibly excited for the possibilities our new licensing unlocks. The loan product is fundamental cornerstone of financial inclusion, and our expanding value-added services paired with digital neobanking will be fantastic offerings. In closing, I'd like to thank 2 more vital stakeholders. Over the past 2 decades, our partners have played a critical role in our growth in Zimbabwe. Their contributions have been instrumental in enhancing the technology we use, the infrastructure we've built, and the customer-centric approach we pride ourselves on. We also recognize the vital role the media plays in driving our narrative and showcasing the impact of our business. We are committed to fostering strong relationships with media professionals who keep us communicate our mission achievements and innovations to a wider audience. I'm so glad you could join us with me today to celebrate this leap forward, and would like to show a quick introduction of our wallet. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Doug. Before we do that, we also need to go through the journey. Is that okay? All right. So here's a little bit of a video to just tell you and introduce Mukuru to you in a way that you've never seen it before.
A certain kind of person to keep moving, keep pushing boundaries and innovations. That person finds similar people who never settle. People who find solutions and make things happen. Together, these people form a tribe, and that tribe has grown to become Mukuru. It's 2024, and this year Mukuru turns 20. This year, we take a moment to celebrate 20 years of delivering innovative service to our customer. 20 years of keeping loved ones connected. 20 years of breakthrough technology in financial inclusion. 20 years of constantly keeping our customers at the center of what we do. At Mukuru, our staff are always taking things to the next gear. When challenges come our way, we won't slow down or let that stop us, never. We look for another way to get through. We don't do giving up. We work hard, taking every opportunity to make a life better for our customers. Awards humble us. So becoming FinTech Innovator of the Year inspires our growth and pushes what we thought were the boundaries. To develop greater degrees of financial inclusion for our customers. In the past 20 years, we've served 60 million customers. We've moved $8 billion in remittances and completed over 200 million transactions. That's a massive 27,000 transactions every day over the last 20 years. We've invested in 12 students to further their education in the field of data and technology, committing over 2 million rands in bursaries. We sponsored the biggest league in football with our Crystal Palace sponsorship and had a football team named after us. We've grown our footprint and operate in 60 countries, facilitating over 500 corridors to transact. We employ 2,177 permanent staff and 8,392 agents across 13 countries. We've unleashed innovation with 80 projects in the last year, releasing over 3,400 functionalities and enhancements. Being fast and flexible means we won't stop. And why should we? We're resourceful enough to take on anything and make a plan to get it to work. We're people connectors, plan makers, and risk takers. It doesn't matter what we're up against, delayed projects or devalued currencies, our people make a way. We keep up with our customers' needs. Their adaptability inspires us to adapt to suit them as and when they need us to. We move with them, and as they grew with us, we grow with them. It started with sending and receiving money across the world, and now there's Mukuru Card, Mukuru Wallet, an app, and Mukuru Pay.
And we're not stopping there because they won't either.
And we'll keep on adapting.
We keep innovating.
And we will keep on keeping up with them.
Because
It's Mukuru for that.
there's Mukuru for that.
there's Mukuru for that. A round of applause. The Mukuru journey has been nothing short of amazing. Now, I don't know, just by a show of hands, how many of you have actually used Mukuru? Let's be honest. Raise your hand if you have. I have one more customer that okay, I was about to ask if the Deputy Minister is doing the right thing and trying our products. But thank you so much. So we're going to do a bit of a demonstration. So Chief, right at the back.
Yeah, because we're celebrating, you know how it is. So I just figured, you know what, it's a bit boring up front there. I should just come to the bar here. It's open, guys, okay? This is why we're here. We're here to celebrate 20 years. Just look at the person next to you and tell them 20. It's an awesome 20. Come on, guys. Come on. We're going to play tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun. For those guys from the RBZ, the minister, please forgive us. We are the guys that enjoy playing, sir. With permission, tonight we will do so. Mr. Chairman, that's what we're going to do. So right now, we're going to go back again to the screens while I sort out the drinks here. Miss Orange, that's what I'm going to be doing here tonight. We're going to go back to the screens, watch another video, maybe a couple, and then we come back with the speech from the chairman.
What do you say?
Moshe,
Have you heard about Marechera?
Hanziko.
But he says keeper. Shakuyendeka. They say he has this glow about him now. He doesn't walk.
Hey.
He glides.
Yo.
And he's so calm that he doesn't perspire.
I heard that he owns a bank.
Let's go.
The most secured bank in the whole world.
And his dollars, he ions his money.
He has got people who ions his money for him.
But have you heard that when he coughs, money just comes out of the blue? Out of the orange.
Let's go.
Hey, yo.
Marechera. Says Keeper, Kakuendeka, introducing the new Mukuru Wallet. Send, store, spend. There's Mukuru for that.
Right, it seems simple, right? Simple enough? Yes, thumbs up? No? Ooh, okay, simple enough. So I'm going to go around and just see whether or not, some people said that they had the Mukuru wallets you've transacted before. Can I just get some evidence, please? Some evidence, all right. I've got someone with evidence right next to Chief Koti.
Yeah, I've got a guy here, but before he shows us the evidence, obviously, the statement of the day, the phrase of the day, Shakuyendeka. And then, what's your name, bro?
My name's Nick.
How are you, Nick?
Good.
Good. So we want to see some evidence here, but you know the password to this show. I mean, I've got $1 million that I can give you tonight, courtesy of Mukuru. So, Shakuyendeka says keeper.
Shakuyendeka says keeper.
Wow, a round of applause for him.
Well, did he get it right, guys? So shall we give him a round of applause?
I can hardly speak English. Never mind anything else.
So Sam, as you can see, I mean, he just showed me he's been transacting using Mukuru, so I'm on way to. You can say Ndiriwenyu.
Say again.
Ndiriwenyu.
Ndiriwenyu.
Oh Lord, it's okay. Let's stick to Jacques and Dave. Okay? Fantastic. So as we move forward with our program, just a special thank you as well for those who have been posting. I've seen your posts. For those who were good enough to just do the hashtag Mukuru Wallet is what we're doing. But before we go further, I think it's always good to hear from the person who leads in the direction and the thoughts in the boardroom. And of course, we have a man who I can never fully introduce with the best possible way, because he's done so many things in terms of the financial sector, in law, and so many other things. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, if you can allow me, and do me a very, very solid, okay, by clapping hands really loudly for our chairman at Mukuru Zimbabwe Fin Services, Mongai Zamche.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Particular thanks to Samantha Mary Musa and Christopher Godfrey Koti. When I saw the list of invitees, I felt sorry for the people who were tasked with doing protocol today, because we've got some very high-ranking people in this building. And oftentimes you have people having to go through the various protocols, and I remember one time I went to an event and you heard Chief Koti say, riding on the protocol that's been given today. And the person was nervous, standing in front of people. He says, I ride on all the potholes that have been given today. So it's also important to recognize certain people, and I'd like to recognize a couple, albeit they have been called out. Starting off with our guest of honor, Deputy Minister Mnangagwa, thank you very much. Fellow old Georgian, thank you for coming. Twisted his arm to come. I'm going to thank Mr. Madamombe from the RBZ. The RBZ are our regulators. They walk with us lockstep. I know there are various other people here from the RBZ and from DPC. It's important for us to have good relationships with our regulators. Carlos Caceres from the IMF, the country manager, is also here with us. Another person twisted his arm, very busy. We know that there's a lot going on with the debt clearance as well. Sam Matekete, Group CEO of Old Mutual. People might say, why is he here? But we're all friends in this bigger financial space. So I just want to thank you as well. Tino Kambasha, who is the head of the venture capital company, will be looking for you to be giving out lots of money, Tino, to all the people here. And there's a lot of people from Mukuru as a group who've come and traveled quite far to get here. Andy has brought a high-powered delegation out here today, and it's important because this is a monumental event that we mark today. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm from Chipinge. So Chipinge is in Manyikaland, and it's in the eastern part of Zimbabwe, which is why we say that wise men and women come from the east. And I am Ndau, and today I had to explain to someone that being Ndau means I'm not Shona. So Ndau is one of the 16 official languages of Zimbabwe that's constitutionalized. So Ndau is its own language, it's not a dialect. So coming from a minority, I have a fascination with languages and I love languages. And when I was at high school, I studied A-level Latin. And most of you will probably think Latin is a dead language, and you probably might only see it on crests or on school badges. And I know there's a number of my fellow old Georgians in the room tonight who will remember our school motto is Ex Fide Fiducia, which means from faith comes confidence. So I have a number of Latin phrases that I'm a big fan of. And one of them is pecunia non olet, right? Which means money doesn't smell. And that's attributed to the ancient Roman Empire Vespasian. And Vespasian said that after he introduced a tax, and this was a urinal tax. And someone said to him, how could you introduce such a dirty tax? And he held up a coin, and in my head when I was preparing, I said, let me grab a coin from my table, and guess what? I didn't. He held up a coin. Imagine there's a coin in my hand right now. And he said to everyone who has gathered there today, does this smell? Now, a lot of us have very difficult relationships with money, right? We struggle with money. People are confused by money. Some people are scared of money. Some people think that being rich is the preserve of a select few. And particularly when we've lived in a country like ours where we've had two major losses of value, we've had hyperinflation, money can be very confusing. Money can be a very difficult thing for people to deal with. And a lot of the time people will pass off those decisions about how to deal with money and fob it off to someone else. But the best thing about money is neutral, right? And as Shakespeare, well, I'll paraphrase Shakespeare, if I talk about money, it's neither good nor bad, but thinking makes it so, right? Money is neutral. So on the whole, it retains its value. And what we need to do is we need to change our mindsets. And instead of having an emotional reaction to money, we must have a rational reaction to money. So I often tell my children that money is an options multiplier. So it determines whether you're going to turn left or right when you get onto a plane. It determines whether you're going to have a cloth interior or a leather interior when you buy a new car. But the most important thing I tell my kids is that money is a tool, right? Money allows you to do things. And the efficacy of a tool is fundamentally based on how you use it. So today I'm really, really excited because we are launching tools today. And we are launching a financial tool that's grounded in inclusion and not exclusion. We live in a country where over 60% of our population lives in the rural areas. And as I proudly told you, I come from Chipinge. And I'm happy to tell you that if I go to Chipinge today, I can transact in over 10 Mukuru places. Many of them in the urban setting of Chipinge town, but one of them is fantastic in Mount Selinda, which if you know you come from the east, Mount Selinda is a fantastic, beautiful place and it's an historic place. But I can also transact at Tongogara refugee camp in Chipangai. Right? Hear that again. Tongogara refugee camp in Chipangai. I don't know which other financial services company, organization in this country can give you that level of inclusion. We have representatives from our Reserve Bank today, and Reserve Bank launched this fantastic thing called NFIS, right? Which is the National Financial Inclusion Strategy. So we've had the first 5 years of NFIS, we had the first 5 years, and then we've had the second 5 years of NFIS. And Mr. Madamombe, I know you'll be very happy because inclusion is what the cornerstone of that financial strategy is. And it's talking about financial deepening, which is what this product is going to do. Deepening, financial deepening. And improved livelihoods with fundamentally cornerstone on improved livelihoods and ultimately financial capabilities. So today, we want you as our regulator, as our partners, as our stakeholders, to walk forward with us, lockstep, as we forge a new understanding and a new relationship that people have with money. We've got to embrace a new attitude and a new way of thinking, and ultimately to rewrite the story of financial empowerment. Doug talked about digital. And many places, in many spaces, we hear the talk about digital transformation. And at Mukuru, we don't think about digital transformation in theory. We don't think about it as something that is important, but we think it's an absolute necessity. It is the cornerstone on the modern way of being able to involve yourself and be financially included. So when we were granted our license to operate in October 2024, and then eventually when we got permission to operate in December, that wasn't just a regulatory event, right? For us, it was a statement of intent. A statement of intent to reshape the financial playing field, to drive economic inclusion, and ultimately to empower communities. And as HE, the President, Comrade E.D. Mnangagwa says, leaving no place and no one behind. And that's what total inclusion is about. It's making sure that wherever you are and whatever spaces that you're going to be fully included. And Chief Koti and Samantha were asking if you've had an opportunity to download this financial tool. Those who have, please, I hope you do, because it's going to unlock a fantastic world. Those of you that haven't yet done it yet, please do that. And those of you who have friends and colleagues who will benefit from that, please ultimately share this with them. Because we want people to change their mindsets, and ultimately we want everyone to come away thinking that money doesn't stink. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to introduce a man who's also helped us along this journey. We've had discussions and talked and briefed him, and whose arm we twisted today. He's had a very busy day, as you are well aware. There's continuous engagement with His Excellency, former President of Mozambique, Joaquim Chissano, sorry, and our President and President Adesina from Africa Bank. They've been engaging in the process of the debt recovery process, and we know that A lot of people from the Ministry of Finance have been deeply involved in that. So ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our honorable guest, who is the Deputy Minister of Finance, Economic Development and Investment Promotion, Honorable David Kudafashe Mnangagwa.
It's always a tough act coming after Bongai Samchia, chairperson of Mukuru, Doug, I think we have it right. Right, Mr. Doug Tate Knight, the CEO of Mukuru, Mr. Andy Jury, the group CEO. I also recognize Carlos Uceris, IMF, Mr. Madamombo at RBZ, Sam, Mr. Tino Kambasha, the CEO of the National Venture Capital Company, captains of industry here present. I recognize Colin, ZMX, we have members of the Fourth Estate, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. So Bongai does this thing where he invites captains of industry, high-powered executives to lunch, and when he can, he gets government officials together. And some of us politicians, we love a free lunch. So when we get there, the first thing he says is, there's no such thing as a free lunch. And you start wondering, we're going to have to pay for this. But how we pay for it is, you have to break bread, talk it out, and make sure that at the end of the lunch, you understand each other, that you bridge the gap between the private and the public. I say this because when Bongai sent me the save the date for this event, I noted, and when I accepted it, it's like, thank you for accepting, being the guest of honor. And I'm thinking, I'm just coming because I know the Hyatt has a very nice menu. I'm gonna have a free dinner. I'll probably be in the back of the bar with my good friend Carlos. But it's an honor that is well received, and I thank you. So let me begin by congratulating it's the Mukuru tribe. The Mukuru tribe, right? That's, I think. Thank you. Let me begin by congratulating Mukuru Zimbabwe on being awarded a deposit-taking license by the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe in December 2024. Like Bongai mentioned, it's a journey that we've been following, and I'm glad the issue of the license is here as well to witness such a great event. This is a milestone achievement that has paved the way for the launch of the Mukuru Wallet in Zimbabwe, marking a significant expansion of financial services in Zimbabwe through provision of more advanced and innovative solutions. The rollout of Mukuru Wallet in Zimbabwe comes at an opportune time, given the substantial impact of diaspora remittances on our current account surplus. By providing a seamless and convenient transaction experience, the Mukuru Wallet will further bolster the resilience of diaspora remittances. Remittances are now estimated at over 2 billion in 2024. 2 billion in 2024. And these have sustained our positive current account over the last 6 years. I mentioned earlier on that Bongai is always mentioning there is no free lunch. And when he invited me over, I thought I was going to have a free dinner, and he says, no, you have to earn your dinner. Now, when we're sitting there, he informs me that 52% of this 2 billion was actually transferred through Mukuru, and I'm here still trying to earn my dinner. But it goes to show the footprint and the impact that Mukuru has had in financial inclusion. Now, the challenge before us is to ensure that the resources come through the official channels and is harnessed towards development of the economy. The license for a deposit-taking microfinance institution is one way to harness remittances into the developmental needs for the country. For this milestone, we congratulate you, Mukuru, and we stand ready to support you where we can. Now, this launch aligns closely with Zimbabwe's National Financial Inclusion Strategy, which continues to be a priority agenda for the country as it facilitates inclusive transformation and shared prosperity by empowering the marginalized communities such as women, youth, and persons with disabilities. With your widely distributed branches across the country, especially in rural areas and the remote areas, Mukuru is driving government's agenda of ensuring financial inclusion, henceforth leaving no place and no one behind, as enunciated by His Excellency. Furthermore, this launch is in line with the transition to a digitalized nation agenda, where digitization plays a pivotal role in reducing costs, saving time, and promoting financial inclusivity. By leveraging digital technologies, financial services can now be extended to historically underserved communities. In this regard, Mukuru has established itself as a leader in the financial services sector, distinguished by its provision of efficient remittances corridors. Their achievements are truly worthy of recognition and applause. Ladies and gentlemen, our government has made strides in creating a robust policy framework to promote financial inclusion. Initiatives such as the establishment of microfinance institutions, the promotion of digital financial services, and regulatory reforms have laid the groundwork for a more inclusive financial system. Government continues to support the empowerment of the disadvantaged through institutions like women-led banks, like Zimbabwe Women's Microfinance Bank, ZWMB, and other credit offering initiatives to promote women and youth-led micro to small to medium enterprises to easily access credit. We've also operationalized the National Venture Capital Company, newly minted or not so new anymore, CEO Mr. Tino Kambasha, where government intends to incubate, handhold, nurture entrepreneurs, young women, and services like Mukuru can bridge the gap again to partnering with the National Venture Capital Company, hoping that we can bring in partners from the diaspora as well and allow a conduit for our brothers and sisters in the diaspora to participate in some of the innovations that we see with our young people. So notwithstanding the progress we have made, significant gaps remain. In rural areas, women and low-income households still lack access to basic financial services and access to credit. In this regard, the launch of the Mukuru Wallet bridges the gap in financial inclusion, particularly the women, youth, and people with disabilities in those rural areas. Government is cognizant of the impact of access to credit and financial services on poverty alleviation. And we are delighted that Mukuru is also enhancing social impact efforts in Zimbabwe by working with NGOs that include UNICEF, the International Organization for Migration, and the World Food Programme. As we commend Mukuru for facilitating the seamless transfer of foreign currency from migrant workers abroad to their families back home, government is cognizant of the rise in labor migration. Engagements are underway to foster a favorable economic environment and attract investments that will boost local employment opportunities. It is worth noting that government is committed to spearheading initiatives that will close the financial accessibility gap, promote equal opportunities, and empower every Zimbabwean to participate fully in the economic sphere. Now, as I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, let me take this opportunity to congratulate you once again on the launch of the Mukuru Wallet. Indeed, great ideas are born at home. I thank you. God bless Mukuru. God bless Zimbabwe. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Deputy Minister of Finance.
Another big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Hearty congratulations, Mukuru.
Things to be hardlined. But what we're talking about is we've got a predominantly rural population in this country. And financial inclusion is about how we get more and more people who are in that rural economy to be able to actively transact and have means to be able to transact. So in terms of what can be done more, there's always more that can be done. But the fundamental is that in Zimbabwe we've already got the foundations of it. And that foundation is underpinned by that National Financial Inclusion Strategy, which is we're on number 2.
But we have a high informal sector, and also people who have lack of confidence in the financial sector, things that happened in the past. Won't that be a hinder?
Well, it's always a challenge with the disintermediation of financial services. So, as you heard me say earlier on today, one of the things that we're doing today is we're giving people tools. We're giving people tools that will enable them to have more confidence in the ability for them to transact. Mukuru as an organization, as a brand, as a company already has a lot of trust and faith that is being projected through that brand and through the way that people have been able to interact and transact with us over 20 years. People have the confidence that if you send money today, within minutes, instantly, your friends or family can have access to that money. Now what we're doing is we're taking it to the next step, enabling people to have that understanding that when you do that transaction, you don't need to take your money out. You don't need to cash out immediately. You can keep it in your wallet. And your wallet is not just a means for you to transact, but it's also a means to store. And as we move down and we continue the journey and we get more and more confidence and faith in people's understanding of what a wallet is, that way we'll get more and more people's faith in being able to keep money in a system and for longer periods of time. And as I said earlier on, it's a journey. We're not seeking a destination.
Right, so we need to understand that specifically this application that you've launched today, what is it that it's doing that you've not been able to do as far as Mukuru is concerned?
Look, Mukuru has been known for remittances and trust and reliability for 20 years now. What we're trying to do now is digitize that experience that people are so used to do when they come to Mukuru. They come to Mukuru and they get cash. What we want to do is simplify that experience, make it even more accessible from wherever you are, 24/7 from the comfort of your home. You can now, put your wallet, use your wallet, redeem into your remittance into the wallet, and all of a sudden, here you go. Your wallet is accessible and it's funded from your sofa. You can now send to anyone. You don't need to come to our location, wait in line, and then come back home, spend the bus, the taxi to come to us, then go back home with a lot of cash in your hands. We bring security, we bring comfort, and we bring reliability with this app. And that's really what we're trying to do, make life simple. And the more you transact, the more you get confident in what you can do with Mukuru. And that's what really we're working on.
So it means it's different from what it was before, where you could not control or use the money from your own wallet.
Yeah, well, before, before we had the license to operate under our wallets, people used to come to the booth, to our branch, and then they had to come physically and, do that transaction in person. Now with the wallet, they can do that remotely. There's no need for them to come to our location. They can sign up remotely. They can load their wallet remotely with the remittance that they've received, and they can send that to anyone in Zimbabwe, abroad, buy their DSTV, pay for their ZESA, buy airtime, and soon way more services are going to come along.
Let's speak of the usage usually, like for a month. What kind of usage do you usually have, and the capacity of the application as well, as far as it's concerned? Is it foolproof in terms of maybe usage? We have had serious problems with many of these applications crashing midway.
Look, the application is obviously about to be released. Right now, the services are available in USSD and WhatsApp. The application is
What is the USSD?
USSD 646 hash. Over the coming, month or two, you'll have the application available to anyone. It's been tested and proven in other markets. We were just waiting for the license that we are announcing today as a DTMFI to release the wallet into the app. And it will come first digitizing the remittance experience, and very soon you'll have all the functionalities of the wallet in the app. And it's been proven at scale, it's reliable, it's secure, and it works.
So as we're speaking right now, are people able to actually download the application?
Not in Zimbabwe yet. It will happen in the next month or two. So
you launched it today. I thought people are going to be excited.
We are launching the DTMFI today. It's our wallet. It's our accessibility of storing value digitally. That's available already on the WhatsApp menu. It's available on USSD, and soon you'll have another channel, which is the app.
Okay. So for now, the USSD is accessible, but not the actual application.
No, the app is coming next month or two, so don't worry, it'll be ready. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for having us once more again. Now, Zimbabweans want to understand, as far as the Mukuru service is concerned, millions have been using this service. Are you ready to actually deploy this application? And how much service are you going to be ready to deploy this in terms of stability and efficiency?
Well, Mukuru is an organization that is not founded yesterday. It's 20 years of operating, 20 years of being around. We have an extensive development team. There's been extensive user testing as well of the system, and the system's actually up and running. So even though today is our official launch, the system's up and running. People have signed up to it. And yes, any system will have glitches and errors, and even on WhatsApp, you know, and I use Instagram a lot. Sometimes you can't do certain things. It's the nature of technology. But the good thing is that we've got a very responsive team that is going to continue to develop the product and ensure that we give people the best services that are available with the product.
Your service is one of the most popular money remittance services here in Zim. One of the biggest issues or problem is many people, specifically your subscribers and users, they queue a lot. Are we having a challenge in making sure that this service is simply and easily available to most of your millions of subscribers without making them wait and queue a little outside their shops and outlets?
Well, that's exactly why we've got a wallet. We've got a wallet that will enable people to be able to store and save and also transact. So when you've got a wallet, it means that you don't need to have that cash on a regular basis. And I think that's the issue we have, is that everyone wants to get their money out. The minute that they've got access, they want to get it out. And you talk about queues. Queues are a function. Everywhere you go, there'll be a queue. You go to a bank, there'll be a queue. And it's also a function of the popularity of the services that we have. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to enhance people's ability to be able to transact. And part of that is with the wallet that people are going to have confidence and faith in transacting with.
You've impacted lives at a large extent. Do you have got figures in terms of volumes? How many Zimbabweans in a month or so actually use the services?
Oh, I can't give you that information right now. A lot of it is proprietary information, and a lot of it is information which competitors would love to know right now. So sorry, I can't.
I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. That is Bonga, Mr. Samshire, the CEO with Mukuru, just having a conversation as far as this launch is concerned. They've just launched an application that is going to be coming specifically to the Zimbabwe market in the next couple of months. So the technical guy also say, in terms of reach and also efficiency, I think he's managed to speak a bit fluently on that issue. But we also stand to wait and see how it's going to impact and change Zimbabwean lives. Most importantly, the most fascinating thing has been the queues and the ways most Zimbabweans have managed not to get the service as efficient as this must be. So I hope maybe the application is going to be the solution that is going to be able to change as far as this biggest problem is concerned. My name is Tonio, right here in Harare, the Mikos Hotel, www.technomega.co.za. See you soon.